In chapters 33 and 34, off the river, Huck meets up with Tom Sawyer, and Tom agrees to help free Jim. Tom then takes Huck to the Phelps house, though that night they sneak out. Huck and Jim gets Jim's keeper to let them see Jim, and they promise to dig Jim out. On the river on these chapters, there wasn't a whole lot on the river, though the thought of freeing Jim and continuing on the Mississippi River was on both of Huck and Jim's mind.
In Chapter 35, Huck tries to simplify Tom's plans to free Jim. A simple plan would be more like Huck's plans on the river. However, things stay complicated.
In Chapter 36, Huck and Tom dig their way to free Jim. Once they get Jim, they use the trickery of Jim's keeper that to cure his fear of witches, he needs a witch pie, and then to give it to Jim. Tom planned to bake a rope ladder into the pie. This chapter was shot entirely off the river, though on the river they have used trickery.
Chapters 37 and 38. These chapters were set entirely off the river. Huck and Tom have begun to try and spring Jim from jail through crazy means. The adventure and struggle is a perfect example for an off-the-river environment.
Chapter 39. The characters are off the river. Tom and Huck capture rats and snakes and put them in the shed with Jim, but it soon becomes overcrowded and they infest the Phelps' home. Uncle Silas is going to advertise in a newspaper that Jim is a captured runaway, but Tom writes letters from an anonymous person and says he's going to steal Jim.
Chapter 40. In this chapter, Huck and Tom break out and make a run for it. They want to make it to the river and get back on their journey. They are on the run now, just like when they were on the river. Chapter 41. Huck has to go to get a doctor to help Tom. He has to trick the doctor into coming. More trickery, just like on the rest of the journey.
In Chapter 42, it is shown that information is learned off of the river, while the real adventure happens on the river. During this chapter, Huck learns that Tom is okay from being shot, and that Jim has been a free man the entire time. While on the river, Huck's main focus is to help Jim be free, and to continue traveling. However, off the river is where he learns the important lessons and the important things on the story. In the last chapter, it is shown that experiences on the river have led to maturity off of it. Jim shows maturity and inner strength by being able to tell Huck the truth about his father and how he is dead. Huck shows maturity by accepting this and pursuing his future even though this is a minor setback. At the end, experiences don't only vary from being on and off the river in this story, but it is learned that they can also be helped and used to grow.